I want to backtrack. You've mentioned a couple times now the importance of discipline and just structure, and something that you said you had learned from your time in the Royal Navy. What's another life lesson that you learned during your time in the Royal Navy outside of discipline and structure that's helped benefit you today?
Well, I think self-confidence really that I think I probably got a bit arrogant when I was in the Royal Navy, a bit cocky. But the reason being that I joined as a kid, like a 17-year-old kid who from poverty, and then I joined with all these rich, dad's rich kids
Hmm.
type of people. Like I joined the officer academy, and then I suddenly realized, hang on a sec, I'm as good as they are, and I didn't expect to be. I expected them to be like 9 foot tall and super intelligent, and I realized that we're all the same and we're all making it up at the same time, and that really boosted my confidence. And when I've come into business by myself, I've realized that you're capable of it all. And so when I worked in the corporate office, I used to think, at the executive level, it must be like a secret school or something where somebody goes to learn to be CEO. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I used to be really intimidated by like the managing director or the vice president. And then I got on a fast track career, and within a few years, I'm vice president of commercial development. And I kind of caught myself and stepped back and thought, how did that happen? And then I realized and I look around, and everyone's making it up as they go along. Nobody knows anything. They're all
Yeah.
figuring it out, and trying to get away with it. And then, and I that boosted my self confidence. So the self confidence I got in the military was so important to me because I wasn't afraid of trying things and taking things on. And then in the corporate career, I realized that most people are just faking it, and I'm as good. I can BS as much as anybody, so I could have a corporate career, right? Just by being a good BSer.
Yeah.
And then when I started my own company, I realized, well, there's nothing in being an entrepreneur that I can't figure out. And I really learned that from reading bunches of biographies of people. And a little light came on one day, and I realized, hang on a sec, all these brilliant people from way back, for like Madam C.J. Walker, who's one of my heroines, if you like. I wish I could meet her, but obviously, she's from the 1800s, all the way to like Richard Branson. I realized that not one of them set out to be a successful entrepreneur. Not one of them went to a school that said, okay, now I'm an entrepreneur. They all set about fixing something. So they would see something that they thought wasn't right. They would try to find a solution for it, realize that the solution doesn't exist. So they fixed it themselves. Like at no point did Richard Branson say, I'd like to, run an airline. He wanted to get to see his girlfriend on a Caribbean island, and his flight got cancelled. So he chartered a plane and then sold seats on the plane to pay for it. Genius, really. But he just figured it out. He just fixed it. And so I realized that with being an entrepreneur and my self-confidence that I think I got from the military and elsewhere, the self-confidence was, if I see a problem, even though I'm totally unqualified for this, I can figure out a way to fix it. And that makes me an entrepreneur by default. And that's what I try to get people to, young entrepreneurs and would-be entrepreneurs to think about. Think about entrepreneurship in a different way. It's not about what you're good at, and it's not about what you think you love to do. It's about fixing stuff. It's finding problems and fixing it, or finding something that doesn't exist and creating it. And you'll figure out how to do that. It just somebody has to start, and everyone else will come around. And you'll be surrounded by brilliant people who make you look brilliant. But